Guys, well, our mock draft starts in 20 seconds. We got Steve taking the first pick, Bearcat with number 3, Week Old Onions, who was Grim on SleeperBot at number 4. 3 computers, unfortunately. Hopefully they'll get filled in the next 5 seconds. Hoos at number 8, Swagit at number 9, great name. I'm number 10, Dan is the man is number 12. So, all right, Steve on the clock with the first pick. David Johnson, no surprise. Le'Veon Bell, number 2. I'm pretty sure we can both agree that those are going to be the 1, 2 in pretty much every draft.
Absolutely. AB's been surprising to see there, but I surprised to see when he falls to me like at the 8th pick. So
yeah, that was a fun mock. So Bearcat takes Antonio Brown. Week Old Onions takes Ezekiel Elliott. Then Odell, LaShawn McCoy, and AJ Green at 5, 6, and 7. Now it's to Hoos.
And I don't know how I can pass on
Julio
here, so I'm going to take on Julio.
Wow.
Yeah,
which is the opposite.
Julio at 8 is insane.
I've been taking first position in a lot of mocks that I've done so far, and I've been having some really good luck. Granted, it's about 50% computers, but I've been having some really good luck catching some great players on that all the way back around, after whatever 20 or 24 picks.
So Swagit takes Mike Evans at number 9. At number 10, I'm going to take DeMarco Murray.
DeMarco Murray.
Yep.
He's pretty much just going to stay there and rise, right? Would you agree?
What do you mean?
Like as far as drafts. I mean, I know it's super early. We want to have OTAs and all this stuff. But DeMarco Murray is probably either going to stay at that 10 or just rise even further.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll go more. I think he's a first-round pick. I don't know if he's going to be much higher than 10. I would take the other 9 guys who've already been drafted over him. So number 11, computer takes Devonta Freeman. Dan is the man, going wide receivers, takes Jordy Nelson and then Amari Cooper on the swing. Jordan Howard with the second pick in the second round, and it's back to me. And let's see.
Know what you're doing here.
Yeah, I want T.Y. And you know what? I got to go for it.
Yeah. I mean, he's there. It's a great pick.
I thought about taking Melvin Gordon or Dez, but I just like T.Y. so much better. I think the Colts, they have a great chance to draft an offensive line this this coming draft. They've really addressed a lot of issues on defense and through the offense as well. So hopefully they'll focus on the O-line. Swagit takes Dez Bryant. So back-to-back wide receivers, Mike Evans and Dez Bryant. Back to Hoos.
Damn
Melvin
computer.
Damn it.
Then Melvin Gordon.
So where's Gronk going? Now, we know he's I don't know. It's possible that he goes in the second round, is it not?
Who?
Probably not, but Gronk.
I've seen it in a lot of the mock drafts I've done. Second or third
2 and
round.
3.
Yeah.
Yep. So who takes Melvin Gordon? Then the computers take Jay Ajayi, Rob Gronkowski, and Lamar Miller. Week Old Onions with the 9th pick in the second round? Took Zeke in the first. Is he going to time out? I think he did.
Yeah, I think
Tom Brady in the second.
I think he had 3 seconds left. So I think he went ahead and picked Tom Brady.
Oh, okay. See, it counted down on mine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But let's say he picked Tom Brady in the second round. I mean, he has so many weapons this year. So he's probably going to finish the first between him and Rodgers, and then Rodgers goes.
He is personally my 32nd ranked quarterback.
Accurate.
Yep. All right, then Bearcat takes Michael Thomas. Computer takes Aaron Rodgers. So that's what led me to believe Tom Brady was an auto pick. It was not. Week Old Onion says that it was on purpose. So, all right.
Yeah, I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
So he says, was it something about his scoring or, oh no?
He said he's got a little something up his sleeve that he's hoping it works out. So, I don't know.
Nice.
Steve takes DeAndre Hopkins.
Going into this with a plan in mind, or you kind of been taking best available?
I don't take best available. I've done enough mocks that I know like these certain amount of players are gone, so I know who to go for after. I've got my tiers already in my head about where players are going to go. So Steve takes DeAndre Hopkins and Alshon Jeffrey on the swing between round 2 and 3. I really like that Alshon Jeffrey pick.
I almost went Edelman and Landry because it's PPR, but I don't know. I kind of like Alshon, and to get him in the third round, first pick of the third round was about where I've been getting him in other mock drafts, so I was okay with it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen him fall, actually, surprisingly. So that's a little strange. Bearcat's going to time out.
I got to credit Chris with all his statistics talking about how many times they threw the ball. He certainly swayed me a little bit. I've been listening. Oh yeah,
the Eagles were Carson Wentz was fourth in pass attempts.
Yeah.
So. All right, Bearcat takes Allen Robinson. Week Old Onions takes Doug Baldwin. Then the computers take Adrian Peterson, Carlos Hyde, and Keenan Allen. Hoos takes Mark Ingram. Back to Swaggett.
What do you guys think about Michael Thomas in the second round?
Way too early, in my opinion.
So? To be honest, I'm sure Chris, already agrees with me without me saying it. Willie Snead, man, I don't want to talk about him too much because. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want people to start picking him up so early, but I wouldn't be surprised. It's crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised if Willie Snead ends up being the one there, even though Michael Thomas should be, but he's going to have a lot of focus on him. So Willie Snead is going to be, he's going to be great this year, I think.
Swaggett takes Drew Brees, and it's back to me. I would like to take Brandon Cooks, but I can't take a Patriot on my team. I can't do it. So I have morals. That's why.
Scruples.
I'm going to take Jarvis Landry in the third.
How hard?
All right, computer takes Brandon Cooks. Dan is the man on the clock now.
Chris, how badly, I should say, did you want that Brady jersey to show up on eBay so you could bid on it just to burn it? Mortgage your house.
I would never spend my money
on kids' college fund.
There'd have been a lot of pesos, wasn't it? Found in Mexico or something like that.
Yeah, it was. Damn, Dan is the man. Took who I was going to take in the fourth, Isaiah Crowell.
He's been going higher, man, than the third.
Yeah, he's rising. All right, so he takes Isaiah Crowell and Michael Crabtree. Computer takes Devontae Adams, and it's back to me. And, man, I don't really like the running backs here.
Nah, they dry up quick this year. They really
do. They do.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Crowell
they get good again in, the, I want to say, 6th, 7th round.
Right.
That's when it gets good again as far as for PPR.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really like any of them right now. So I'm going to go with... I think I'm going to go with Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins in the fourth. I mean, Tyrod's got to throw the ball to somebody.
I can't believe Edelman's still on the board.
All right, Swaggett on the board right now. No running backs for him. 2 wide receivers and a quarterback.
Woodhead's interesting this year, too, because didn't Dixon have a 4-game suspension coming?
Yeah, PED suspension.
So Woodhead's going to be pretty useful the first
for 4 games.
Yeah.
All right, Swaggett takes C.J. Anderson. Now it's back to Hoos. Takes Demaryius Thomas. I was debating between Thomas and Watkins.
Yeah, for me, Thomas is, he's steady Eddie. What he's going to be every year. He's not going to fall out of the top 24. He's just safe. I'm not sure. I think he finished close to top 10. If he didn't finish top 10, I think close to top 12. So
computers take Spencer Ware, Julian Edelman, Travis Kelce. Week Old Onions takes Larry Fitzgerald. That's 4th round. That's a little rich for Fitz for me.
I mean, he's still going to be in PPR. He's going to be he's going to get. He doesn't get touchdowns. That's the problem with Larry Fitzgerald. He had 4 touchdowns.
If you can have Larry Fitzgerald for the first half of the season and then trade him for Doug Baldwin.
Right. Well, he won't have that problem. He has Doug Baldwin too, so.
I guess that's true. Yeah, so he's going to have to play Fitzgerald for the first half and then go to Doug Baldwin.
Right.
All right, Bearcat takes Terrell Pryor. He's got 4 wide receivers. That's a lot. Computer takes Greg Olson. Now it's back to Steve for the last pick in the 4th.
Yep.
Steve takes Brett Favre.
Oh, yeah.
There's this video that just surfaced of
okay.
Brett Favre throwing a football at a mini camp or something like that a couple days ago, and he's still got a cannon.
Yeah, I saw that story. Throw him in the mix with the Manziel and Kaepernick stories.
The
Why not?
47-year-old.
Yeah.
All right, Steve takes Jordan Reed and Golden Tate for round 4 and 5. Computer takes Thomas Rawls, which, that's a computer pick. Computer does not know that Rawls is basically buried on that depth chart right now.
Yeah, this and my last pick, Jordan Reed was that's pretty early for me for tight end, but with Kelsey and Olsen gone before that, I don't see how I could possibly pass that up.
Yeah, I was looking at, between my picks, I was looking at Thomas and Kelsey, and I didn't really want to grab a tight end so early. But I know there's a few tight ends I can grab later that I'll be pretty happy about. But if I miss on them, yeah. So,
all right, Bearcat takes Tevin Coleman as his first running back.
It's PPR.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, he's going to probably go running back.
Yeah, I would assume that as well.
He has it too at this point. Week Old Onion takes Eddie Lacy, another buried guy. Who knows who's going to shake out of that? It's really early.
Then it goes Tyreek, Brandon Marshall, Matt Ryan. 8th pick in the 5th round, back to Hoos.
And I'm going to take Lott.
Latavius Murray, I like that. I was actually going to take him with the 10th pick. All right, Swaggett on the clock.
Do we assume,
only got 1 running back?
Do we assume this is a 3 wide receiver league?
I think that's safe to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in that case...
See, I just love the wide receivers you can get, too.
Yeah.
A little later, too, so... Yeah. You can really stack up on running backs this year. I mean, we'll see. But, given what I have so far, obviously, I'm going to talk about myself. Julio, DT, Melvin Gordon, Mark Ingram, and Latavius Murray. Kind of digging this right now.
Is there any running back in this area right now where we are, the guys that are left, that you guys are absolutely want no part of?
Yes, I took Frank Gore for what it's worth.
I like Frank Gore still.
Yeah, based on the Colts not getting another running back.
Well, that we know of yet. I mean, they can still draft one.
Right. If they draft one, then this is going to change. Yeah. At this point, I'm not real thrilled with any of them. Computer takes LeGarrette Blount. It's back to Dan as the man. I mean, we still got Bilal Powell, Doug Martin, who is going to be teamless, most likely. Yeah. I'm surprised the Bucs haven't released him yet.
Well, okay, that leads me to this question.
I'll say that.
What round are you guys looking at, like picking maybe a rookie running back, independent of what team they land on?
I think Dalvin Cook and Fournette could be 3rd round.
Yeah, that's. I feel like usually that's where they go. Usually, with exception of this year where Zeke went in the 1st round, usually they fall in like the 3rd, 4th round. Usually you take a gamble on those guys 3rd, 4th round.
So
and you hope you got a starting running back, a really good one.
So like after Crowell, before Crowell, just like Spencer Ware, where's the cutoff point, do you think?
I guess
I take him before Ware. I don't like Ware.
Before Ware?
I would say, yeah. Okay. Before
Anderson, before Rawls, Lacy.
Crowell.
Okay.
Crowell will be the off, and then I'd go as of right now.
All right.
Yeah, I think, this is a tough choice. I don't really like anybody at this pick. I'm going to I'm going to take a flyer on Kelvin Benjamin in the 6th.
I don't like that at all. But I see, I see the potential.
He's my wide receiver 4, so it's not like he's part of my starting lineup to be in. Swaggett takes Tyler Eifert.
Darn you.
Computer took Andrew Luck, by the way. I forgot to announce that one. Back to Hoos. Who's going to take his first of 7 tight ends?
Monopoly man.
Going big on them Denver wide receivers.
Yeah, I figure, one of them's a flex. You start both of them. One of them's going to go off. And if both of them go off, then great. If one of them has 15, the other one has 9 that game, hey, it's a flex. They both go off, then great. So, it's still early. We don't know who's going to be the quarterback there, but I like it. It was that or having my first of 7 tight ends, Delaney Walker.
Yeah, computers take Doug Martin, Jeremy Hill, and Martavis Bryant. Week Old Onions takes Delaney Walker in the 6th round. I think that's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah. I really like the top 5 or 6 tight ends, but the tight end depth is just so good.
Yeah, it really is. You can't go wrong, just waiting for a tight end. Much like quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You can usually wait. I mean, you can get Cousins so late. He finished top 5 last year. So, I mean, granted, he's going to be missing a weapon, but it didn't seem like he needed them that much anyway. So, it's a position you can wait on.
It certainly is. Bearcat takes Jonathan Stewart, Rashard Matthews for the computer, and Steve with the last pick in the 6th.
Yeah. It's a tough spot. What do you guys think? Stephon Diggs?
I like Stephon Diggs.
I would rather have Thielen over Diggs.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
No.
I would.
Well, at this point, I think my choices are...
I would pick him up last round. Sure, it's the 16th rounder. No one's going to draft Thielen, so I wouldn't say I'd rather have him, but if I've missed out on Diggs, I wouldn't mind, grabbing Thielen, sneaking, picking him up.
Who takes Cobb and Ty Montgomery?
Yeah, I'm going to buy into the Green Bay offense this year.
Stephon Diggs with the 2nd pick in the 7th round. Back to Bearcat.
I was really close to going with Decker. Really close. But
yeah, I could see him being a bounce back, but it's just the Jets.
For sure.
Yeah.
The Jets could be the worst team in the league this year.
They could be the new Browns.
I think the Browns, with the updates they've made, they have a top 10, maybe even top 5 offensive line. They are playing to not finish last this year.
Yeah.
Well, they tried to make the playoffs 2 years ago, and Hoyer almost let them.
Yeah. Bearcat takes Bilal Powell. You were right about him going running back.
Yeah, he had to.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of, he had to after that.
I've
done that before, and kind of went far into the playoffs, still went, did well. So it can work depending on who you pick.
You were talking about Thielen a minute ago, Chris. I've been catching him pretty late in the mock drafts that I've been doing, like 8th, 9th round, which I think is a pretty good value.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Don't take Diggs when I think Thielen is. I don't know if I want to say that he's better than Diggs, but maybe for fantasy football, he's better than Diggs. He's obviously got a great chemistry with Sam Bradford.
Yeah, he really was a PPR machine at the end of last year.
He was he won my Sleepy Award for best championship performance.
Yeah, he went off that game, but
same
thing. If you're gonna talk about Diggs and Thielen that way, I almost feel the same way about Kelvin Benjamin and Russell Shepard. Russell Shepard is pretty much another big guy. Same,
it's just we haven't seen Russell Shepard with Cam Newton, so we have no idea. We've seen Stephon Diggs with Adam Thielen.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as far as the guy the obvious guy versus the maybe not so semi-obvious guy, and Thielen's probably a lot more obvious than Russell Shepard, but still just.
All right, let's catch up a little bit here. Week Old Onions took Eric Decker with the 4th pick in the 7th. Then goes Ben Roethlisberger, Dak Prescott, Zach Ertz. Hoos takes Paul Perkins, who could be... he could be good. I mean, the Giants did sign... We talked about this little bit of news earlier. They did sign Sean Drone, however you pronounce it, the big salad. But Perkins, I think, is the future there. Then Swagger took Rob Kelly. I took Cameron Brate with this 10th pick in the 7th, Jamison Crowder, and Sterling Shepard to round out the 7th round.
I'm curious about Rob Kelly's value. He seems to have really kind of fallen into the later rounds. When it seemed like
and I
at
think
the end of
that's
the year,
maybe just because he's not high up on the list right now.
Yeah.
It's just what people remember. That's all it is. You know, it's he didn't finish the season stellar, he had some really good games, but it's not like he finished it hot. So
right.
All right, so Dan is the man. Took Derek Carr to begin the 8th, then Jamal Charles by the computer, and now I'm going to pull a Hoos, and I'm going to take my second tight end.
Oh, you bastard! Yeah.
Hoos, are you going to take Kyle Rudolph or Zach Miller?
You know who I was going to take.
I think you were going to take Rudolph. But I am going to take Zach Miller.
Oh, well, that was very kind of you, sir.
Well, I like Miller better than Rudolph, personally.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, when you think of what, they're bringing back Bradford, I mean, Rudolph, I mean, granted, a lot of guys were banged up, but he still finished. What was he, number 1 or 2?
Oh, yeah, don't get me wrong. I really like both of them. I
mean, granted, Zach
Miller before injury is a stud.
Yeah, he is. Then they brought in Sims too, though. So I don't know if you worry about that at all.
No, I don't.
I don't.
Sim doesn't scare me at all.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and
Corey Coleman,
Kyle Rudolph at the Professor Chris was so nice gift wrap for me.
Yeah, I knew you wanted him.
Yeah.
Computer takes Derrick Henry, Jordan Matthews, and then Amir Abdullah. Week Old Onions now. Cam Newton's still on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be a mistake. He's not going to run as much. So it's probably going to force him to stay in the pocket more. Could be a good thing. I mean, if Kelvin bounces back, Russell Shepard, another big body. Obviously, they lost Ginn. That's going to hurt a little bit. They don't really have that burner.
Someone who I think is going to rise is Rex Burkhead.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but then I don't know how. I don't know. I still don't know about that one yet. What do you guys think about Abdullah?
I will give him another chance on my bench.
Yeah,
I think the 8th round is fine for him.
Yeah, I think they've made some improvements to their line. He should be better if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, if he can. We haven't even seen half the season out of him yet.
Right.
A couple games.
Week Old Onions takes Danny Woodhead. Bearcat takes his 4th running back after taking 4 wide receivers in Ryan Matthews. Computer takes Kenneth Dixon. Steve with the last pick in the 8th round.
Yep. I'm really torn. I'm thinking quarterback here, but at the same time, I kind of want another running back, but I think I'm going to wait.
You only have one.
Yeah, I know.
I have one. It's going super.
Well, I got Ty.
Well, it's kind of.
Oh yeah, I guess Ty Montgomery.
Yeah, that's true. He takes Cam Newton. I like it.
Cam Newton.
Take your quiz.
Didn't you do this on our other mock draft show? You didn't draft a running back till like the 7th round.
Yes.
Yeah,
but I picked a much.
Took like 5 straight wide receivers or something.
But I picked a much later draft position as well. So I think I was like 9th or 10th. So the big
having
the
big
big 5 were
having
gone.
the first pick.
Willie Snead is gone.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson and Willie Snead. Those were 2 guys I had on my queue right here.
Yeah, I was really hoping to grab Willie Snead this round. So you weren't going to get him. But I was really hoping for him. Like I said, I think he's going to be really, really good this year. But there's still a ton of wide receivers that can produce and be sneaky.
I really like Deshaun Jackson in Tampa. Last year,
I like
doing biggest.
I don't love it, but I think it hurts Evans if anything, because that just. Yeah, I don't think Winston's going to throw a ton of more touchdowns. So I just think Evans just going to lose touchdowns.
Yeah, maybe. All right, Week Old Onions takes Josh Doxson in the 9th. Maybe he'll be healthy. I kind of like the guy.
Kirk Cousins.
Computer takes Forte, then Procise, and then Marvin Jones. Who's takes Kirk Cousins as his quarterback, and now it's to Swaggett.
Hussein, why did you go Kirk Cousins? There's a lot of other quarterbacks available that I know you like. Or maybe you don't.
I like the other guys. I believe in Cousins. I think this, especially the fact they didn't give him a long-term contract. He's going to have to play like a top 5 quarterback again this year. And I think he's going to have a good chance to finish top 10. I like Eli too. I could have waited on Eli.
I cannot believe this guy is still here. I'm taking Russell Wilson in the 9th.
Yeah, Russell Wilson is another guy. I think he's going to bounce back too. So it was as far as quarterbacks, it was between Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins. Russell Wilson's finished top 3 every year pretty much, other than, the year he got banged up a little bit. So
yeah. I'm not trying to make any excuses, but I was yapping my mouth when I was doing my quarterback pick, and I wanted to get Wilson, but it cammed me. For the record, when I come in 3rd in this mock season that plays out, that's the reason why.
Well, thanks for the confession there, because we were a little worried, but
we
were like, got some insight there. We like the upside pick.
Yeah. All right, Martellus Bennett goes after me. Dan is the man takes Hunter Henry to end the 9th round, and then he took the guy I had up in my queue, which was Mike Gillislee to begin the 10th. So I got to struggle through and find a different player here. Don't really like any of the tight ends. And I think I'm going to go with Mike Wallace.
He was in my queue as well.
Damn, I was going to pick him right now.
Yeah,
I mean, he finishes as a wide receiver 2 every year, but you can get him so late.
Yep.
Swaggett takes the Kansas City defense, first defense off the board. Hoos with Giovanni Bernard. Then Computers takes Seattle defense, Marcus Mariota, Jeremy Maclin.
That's another one you can get late, Maclin, who I think returned pretty good.
Yeah, I think he's going to bounce back too.
I actually like Gio Bernard this year too for a 10th round pick. That's not a bad value because
I love Gio this year, especially when their line is so horrible.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to dump.
And Hill just doesn't run that way with that kind of line. He's just not going to be very good, I don't think.
Gio's their best back there, and so late 10th round.
Yeah,
I mean, this is falling beautiful.
If you go under the wide receivers tab and keep scrolling down, Marcus Colston is still on here.
Hell yeah.
Wow. Did he retire?
Yeah, a couple years ago.
Did he retire a couple years ago? I thought he was on the team last
maybe
year.
he retired last offseason. He wasn't playing last year. So Week Old Onions takes Minnesota defense. Bearcat takes Matthew Stafford for his quarterback. I like that. Computer takes Houston defense. SleeperWire Steve.
Yep, it's up to me. What do you guys think? Kevin White or Kenny Britt?
And I would take Kevin White.
Okay, what if I said Meredith or White?
White.
Yeah.
I don't like Cameron Meredith.
I don't know. I like Meredith, but I'm not sure what Glennon's going to do as far as with the connection. So,
I mean, the Bears don't have a whole lot of high end wide receivers, but they
I'd rather
have a lot.
I think I want Kendall Wright actually out of the guys that are there, just based off of him linking up with his old coordinator.
Yeah, it's very possible that Marcus Wheaton outplays Cameron Meredith in my mind.
No.
I'm just not a fan.
I'm not a fan either, but I don't think he's Wheaton. I'm not a fan of Wheaton either, but
I don't really like either guy. That's why I don't mind comparing them. All right, so Steve takes Adam Thielen, who I was going to take with my next pick, and Kevin White. Computer takes Devontae Parker. Bearcat takes Eric Ebron for his tight end. Week Old Onions takes the aforementioned Cameron Meredith. Jameis Winston, New England defense, and Eli Manning by the computers. Back to Hoos. Kenny Britt. I mean, he's the guy in Cleveland. Swaggart takes Devontae Booker, and I'm going to take the guy in San Francisco, Pierre Garçon.
Yeah, it was between Garçon and Britt.
I have not been paying as close attention to my draft as I normally would, because I've been thinking, I'm sort of taking best available or highest upside right now. I've only got 2 running backs.
Yeah, you need to get on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that. And you know who isn't on here that I'm looking forward to being in the mock drafts is Tyrell Williams.
Yeah.
I was looking for him too.
Yeah, he's not in here.
About what round would you take him, Chris, and feel good about it?
Looking at my wide receivers, I'd take him over Kelvin Benjamin.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would take him over the wide receivers in the 6th on. So I took Garçon, Tyler Lockett with the 11th pick. Dan is the man takes Darren Sproles, who was in my queue. I really need to take a running back.
Did you take him before Moncrief?
Yeah, Moncrief I do love as a Colts fan. I just don't love him as a wide receiver for fantasy football. Right. I mean, he's good for 50 yards and a touchdown every other game, but he's not going to get you, 10 catches and 150 yards like T.Y. can.
Right.
I mean, I think they're both going to be in the same breath, kind of, especially with Aiken there. So, I mean, they still have Travis Benjamin. They still have Inman. So, I mean, Travis Benjamin is still going to be the guy there. I mean, other than...
we're talking about Moncrief.
Keenan Allen. No, I know, but we were talking about...
Williams.
You're talking about, what's his name before that? Tyrell Williams.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like 2 minutes ago.
No, you segued from Moncrief to Tyrell Williams.
I was just saying, like, where he would fall.
Wasn't that 2 minutes ago? I was like...
We segued the opposite way.
Oh, my God.
Well,
anyways, Danny's man takes D'Angelo Williams and Phillip Rivers. I took Charkandrick West. Swaggart takes Michael Floyd. Back to Hoos.
What? I'm sorry.
What are you laughing at?
I'm just amazed that the pool of players on this. I mean, I guess, it hasn't been updated yet, but...
Oh, you're looking at the guys available?
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to update. Like Deion Branch and Steve Breston are still there.
Yeah, Dwayne Bowe is still here. Like, what the hell's going on?
Steve Smith.
I was about to scroll. If my pick wasn't coming up, I was going to scroll all the way to the bottom to see the oldest, see if I can find, Walter Payton. The all-legacy team. Joe Montana, quarterback backup.
There if you keep scrolling.
Hoos takes Cole Beasley, then Charles Sims, John Brown, and the New York defense come off the board. Week Old Onions takes Tony Romo as his backup quarterback. I don't really draft backup QBs.
No, I never do. It's a waste for me.
Yeah.
Unless I'm expecting them to be top 10. And not even top 10, top 5, and they just fell to me, and I was like, why is this guy still here? And I know I can trade him for something way better. Then I'll just draft him basically just because he's the best available, maybe. But that's the only Romo. No, I wouldn't waste my time.
Bearcat takes Rex Burkhead, Tyrod Taylor by the computer.
Oh, boy.
Steve takes Alan Hearns, who's someone who I've seen go undrafted.
Yeah, kind of like Marquise Lee a little bit more. But with Doug Peterson, I think Lee, and I know the way Allen Robinson finished the season was really good, so that's why we're seeing him still drafted so high. But I think Lee might be the guy. I don't know. I like Stills, though. I like that pick, too. He was in my queue for some time.
Yeah, I was really looking to get a running back, but Ivory and Yeldon, I couldn't justify that, and then everybody else back up at best. What I was really thinking about was Oakland. If there's any guy on that Oakland platoon that might emerge with Murray going,
I think Jalen Richard.
Yeah, Richard.
Yeah, I'd rather have him over DeAndre Washington, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so Kenny Stills for Steve, then Justin Tucker comes off by the computer in the 13th round. Bearcat takes Will Fuller, Week Old Onions. That's a pretty good name.
Yeah.
Not that, I mean, Week Old Onions don't even really smell like anything.
They don't really mean much, though, because Week Old Onions are fine. I mean, you cut them, you're still going to cry. It's not like you won't cry.
Have you ever left an onion, like a cut onion in like a Ziploc bag or something like that till it sprouted? Started growing another onion on it?
I have not. I use my vegetables. I use them all.
Week Old Onions takes Chris Ivory, and then Josh Gordon, Marquise Lee, Mohamed Sanu come off the board. Hoos with the 8th and the 13th round. Arizona defense. I'm surprised they're still there.
Yeah, that's crazy. So many defenses.
Dalton. And I'm going to, at least I know this guy is probably a starter. I would take Jalen Richard right here, but he's not on Fantasy Football Calculator right now. So I'm going to take DeAndre Washington.
Yeah, I like that too. I don't mind either guy. I think they're both going to get the work, so. Especially that late. And West, who knows? West might end up stealing the backfield back from Ware, right?
Yeah, I've never been a huge Spencer Ware fan.
Yeah, I know you were a bigger believer in West.
Yeah, that was my bad call last year.
Right. Maybe you were onto something. Maybe he's this is his year coming in. So.
Yeah, and he's not the third anymore. He's behind Spencer Ware, who I think Spencer Ware is going to get the chance to start. And if he gets injured, he missed a game or two last season because of a concussion. So Charkandrick West could very well come in and be great.
And he wasn't that great when he was. He had some good games, but he was a big letdown.
Yeah, Spencer Ware was not good. All right, so James White, then the Baltimore defense to end the 13th, Ladarius Green and Matt Bryant to start the 14th. And I'm going to take a kicker before a defense because all the good defenses are gone, and there's still some great kickers left.
Yeah.
Do I want Dan Bailey or Vinatieri?
Usually like Vinatieri.
I'm going to go with the oldest player in the National Football League, Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah, I like that.
And Gostkowski comes off the board. Hoos. Travis Benjamin. Then Dan Bailey, Sebastian Janikowski, Graham Gano. How do you guys feel about Minnesota being the fourth defense? They kind of fell off halfway through the season.
Yeah, but they were so
and
good.
They lost some guys too, I think.
They were so good, though.
They were to start.
They were so good. I picked them up and rode them probably longer than I should have. But it didn't hurt me too much. But still, they were really good. They were really, really good for a long part of the season. And then just tailed off. Gave you one more good game in the middle of that terribleness that made you think that they were back on. Mm-hmm. And then they were bad again. So, but I don't know if I don't like drafting defenses usually. I usually don't like drafting them.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not going to follow that rule today.
No, if Kansas City had been there in the 12th, I would have taken them. But 10th round is a little too rich for me. All right, so Week Old Onions takes Mason Crosby, then Duke Johnson and Jerick McKinnon. Duke Johnson by Bearcat. Jerick McKinnon. Steve with the last pick in the 14th round.
This is for you, Maxie. There you go.
Christine Michael, who did just sign with the Packers again.
This one's for you too, Max.
Christy Michael, and Quan Bolden. I like those. Steve going with the no kicker, no defense approach.
Screw that. I don't need those positions right now.
With David Johnson, Jaquiz Rodgers, and Christine Michael as his powerful running back core.
I'm talking preseason trade package, baby.
All right, computer takes Chris Hogan. Bearcat with his final pick takes TJ Yeldon, also going no kicker, no defense. Computers take Ted Ginn, Tim Hightower, and Zach Zinner. Oh no, Week Old Onions takes Ted Ginn. Then Tim Hightower, Zach Zinner, who is Hoose's favorite player in the NFL.
No, Chris
and
Thompson.
Devon Austin come off.
And
Hoose, your last pick.
Supposed to draft kicker right here, but I'm gonna go ahead and draft my second favorite player in the NFL.
Chris Thompson. Next, we're going to have to do a great debate, and we're going to each pick a player that we hate, that we know the other person loves. And I'm going to pick Chris Thompson.
It'll be very easy.
Swaggett takes Rashad Perriman, and I'm going to take my defense. I'm going to take the Philly D.
And I'm going to keep bugging Chris Thompson on Twitter until he comes home. I send him a message every couple weeks or so.
All right, computer takes Jared Cook, and then Dan is the man takes Nick Novak to end the draft. All right, well, I think this was a pretty good one.
Yeah, you always there's never anything terrible. Even, after a mock, you can try to pick apart the teams, but again, it's so early, and then say this team's the best, so.
Well, mine's the best.
Obviously,
that's what they're listening. That's what they're listening for. So let's take 5 minutes and talk about the teams that we like and some things that we saw we didn't like.
All right. Well, I will say usually I don't mind the four wide receiver tactic, but I don't think it worked well with Bearcats running backs. It can. But I don't know. He has Antonio Brown, Michael Thomas, Allen Robinson, Terrell Pryor. Then his running backs are Tevin Coleman, Jonathan Stewart, Bilal Powell, Ryan Matthews, Rex Burkhead, Duke Johnson, TJ Yeldon. So he has a lot of running backs. So he's got some sort of security there that, at least maybe two of them can round out. I like Tevin Coleman. I like Powell. The other guys, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not too confident in. But so far, I'm not loving that approach, and I usually don't mind it. So that sticks out to me so far.
One thing that sticks out to me is that if you don't go running back, and after the third round, you're not getting an RB1. Like you're gonna have to take a flyer on a guy who could get there, but
right
after round 3, like I might try to go RB, even if it's PPR. The more I do these mocks, the more I'm seeing we have fantastic wide receiver depth.
Yeah, you can even go RB. I've seen someone mock go RB, and end up with say Demaryius Thomas in one round, in the fourth. Maybe they ended up with Golden Tate,
That's exactly what I was just looking at.
And
you can get DT Tate, and then
like Emmanuel Sanders or something in the 6th or something. That's not bad, if after you started out with 3 stud running backs,
Yeah.
So
now in PPR, I don't mind Bearcats' approach of having 4 straight wide receivers.
Right.
I just would if I was going to go 4 straight, I would probably take a stud running back first, and then go 4 straight.
Yeah, for me, that's more a hybrid approach, which is kind of like what you did, until you got Gore, But I usually that's my hybrid 0 RB. Is you grab one really good, kind of what Steve did. You grab one super good running back, and then the rest you just fill it up with guys that's just going to put points on the board.
What is the name of that strategy? The super maximum hybrid 1 RB. TM Prophet Hussein. Is Is that what we call it?
TM profit.
Yeah, it's a hybrid approach. It's a hybrid zero RB approach. You just grab, instead of zero RB, you grab one really good RB, and then the rest, you fill it, and then you grab Jaquiz Rogers in the 9th round, in Geo in the 10th, and fill it up with guys like that. Yeah. Michael Thomas in the 4th. I mean Christine Michael in the 14th.
Yeah, and if we've learned anything from last year, there'll be value on the waiver wire in the season.
It will be always.
And what I think is interesting, and I know it's been preached to death on all fantasy football podcasts, or most of them, is that you can wait on quarterback, you can wait on tight end. And if I just look at the big board, I mean, we're talking 9th round, Kirk Cousins, Russell Wilson, Stafford, Mariota after him in the 10th, even Winston and Manning in the 11th. So you really can wait, and tight end as well. We saw Kyle Rudolph, who was great last year, in the 8th, and just guys that you can really wait and just fill up those first few rounds with running backs and wide receivers.
I'm going to go ahead and make a bold prediction that if the Giants wide receivers stay healthy, Eli finishes as a top 8 quarterback.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, that's pretty easy. I mean, I think he could easily do that. He's going to have to throw a lot. He's thrown almost like 50 times a game.
As is.
So he's probably going to continue doing that. They added a big weapon. They don't have a big receiver, until they added Brandon Marshall. So that's going to be huge for Eli.
All right, so we were drafting with a couple guys from SleeperBot, so we should not call them out, but we should mention their teams and say something about them too, since they were waiting on us to start. So Week Old Onions is Grim. He took Tom Brady in the 2nd. That was not an auto pick. He stands by it.
Yeah. I mean, looking at his team, the way it rounded out, I don't mind it, but he shouldn't have grabbed Romo. I think he could have grabbed another guy that could have just helped them out more. I don't think you need Romo when you have Tom Brady. And I'm just not into grabbing two quarterbacks. But Tom Brady's huge. I mean, I'm not into grabbing quarterbacks early, but I mean, he has Doug Baldwin, Larry Fitzgerald. We talked about how they're going to interchange and help each other out at some points in the season. And then Decker, Dotson, Meredith. I like Decker. Dotson and Meredith, I have question marks. I like Ginn. But, that's still a question mark. Just basically, it's going to be Russian roulette of who gets the touchdowns there. I don't think he's going to be Cooks there. So
yeah, I like Delaney Walker in the 6th, too. I think that's great.
Oh,
you got a guy who's finishing as a top 5 tight end.
Yeah.
That's my favorite pick, of course. Loving tight ends.
Who was
Swaggett? Swaggett, I'm not sure if he was the DSW 5150. He said he was going to draft with us, but I'm not sure if he made it in. He said that he posted, I'm looking in SleeperBot right now, and he had posted, let me find it here real quick. He said, wife decided to take me out to dinner for my birthday. What time is this going down? So happy birthday, DSW 5150.
Happy birthday, dude.
Yeah, happy birthday. All right, let's move over to Dan is the man, the last one that drafted with us. Jordy.
I wanted to mention one thing about him. He took Drew Brees in the 3rd round. And
I don't want to talk about him.
But no, but it's his birthday.
I know, I'm just teasing.
No, the 3 players selected right after Drew Brees, I would much have rather had any of those guys. Well, maybe with the exception of Brandon Cooks. But Landry, Crowell, hell, even Reed, Edelman, Demaryius Thomas, with the makeup of his team, I think he would have been better off grabbing one of those guys rather than Drew Brees.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. But I mean, he's got Mike Evans and Dez, so he is set at wide receiver.
Yeah,
but C.J. Anderson, Rob Kelly, that's not the most powerful running back duo.
Yeah, not at all. I like the Tyler Eifert. He secured, made sure he got a top tight end. He's going to be scoring touchdowns every week, assuming he plays. And Corey Coleman, he's going to be the other wide receiver there with Kenny Britt. So that could be good too. That could, he could be. I always say, they always have a top 10 wide receiver just based off of what they do. It doesn't matter who they bring in as a coach. They always have a top 10 wide receiver every year, it seems. So maybe between Coleman or one of these guys, maybe they get there. So,
well,
they have a guy who can put up top 10 numbers. They didn't have a top 10 wide receiver last year.
Well, they did, but the reason why they didn't is because what's his name came over and basically ruined Pryor's value. But before,
I'm just saying Pryor was not a top 10.
He was top 10.
Well, yeah,
he was
for
top
a few
10
games.
No, he was top 10 most of the season up until RG3 took over. So he was top 10 until RG3 took over.
I have to go back and look. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking back at the stats just because it surprised me too. But as soon as RG3 took over, it killed his value. He was top 10 before that.
All right, let's move over to Dan is the man. Jordy Nelson, Amari Cooper took Isaiah Crowell in the third. That's a guy I was hoping would drop to me in the fourth. Behind that offensive line, I think Crowell is going to be great. Michael Crabtree, Jimmy Graham, Theo Riddick, Sterling Shepard, Derek Carr. I think he's got a solid team.
Yeah, I like his team too. And Ladarius Green,
a little weak, but
pan out too. They paid him all that money. They're going to have more time to use him if he can be healthy. Ladarius Green could end up being a top 10.
Yeah, I wasn't even looking at it at pick 14. But he's got, Isaiah Crowell and Theo Riddick, so he's got two guys. That. I guess they can both, any given week, they can both put up RB1 numbers, but more than likely Crowell finishes a low-end RB1 in my opinion. I really like him, and Theo Riddick, more late RB2.
Yeah, Theo Riddick is kind of, well, he's kind of in there's a few running back situations that I think people want to stay away from. Detroit might be one of them. Denver, Oakland, perhaps Seattle. Are there any other teams that you guys can think of where it's too early to decide, or it's just too messy to even, screw around with at this point?
I'd stay away from Jacksonville.
Giants, Washington.
I don't know. I'd take Rob Kelly.
Yeah, but it's still too early. I think I don't know. I like Rob Kelly. I mean, if he's still the man there, yeah, I take him. But I still think that they don't know what they want to do there. So.
I can tell you, I'm not super thrilled about Seattle. I'll take Eddie Lacy if he was taken in the fifth here. I'd take Lacy in maybe the sixth. But I'm not. Week Old Onions, which is grim on SleeperBot, took him as his RB2, and I would not want Lacy as my RB2.
Yeah, I'd be more confident having Danny Woodhead my RB2, which he has too, versus Eddie Lacy. But I'd probably stay away. I would have probably drafted something else there that he needed. I would have stayed away there. But I don't mind the Detroit situation, just based off you don't have to draft any of these guys high. Riddick's in the 6th round, and he's a PPR guy. He has his role. And then the other guys, Abdullah, and then Zenner, those are really, really late guys. Zenner's in the last round. And then
overrated.
Hey, he performed admirably in the last few games of the season. So that's all they had. And he finally, finally got a shot and scored, a couple touchdowns. He looked pretty decent.
Yeah, ZZ, because everybody's asleep because nobody wants him because it's so boring.
Wake up. If he's the only healthy guy there, then I think he's going to, based off of what he showed you the last couple games of the season, I think he's got a good opportunity.
Yep. I guess I could agree with that. All right, guys. Well, that was a good draft.
Yeah, it was fun. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you to the SleeperBot, our SleeperBot friends for participating.
Yes. Thank you for waiting on us a couple extra minutes. We said 6:30, but it takes a little bit of time sometimes. Who's said he got stuck in traffic? Whether or not that's true, different story.
I didn't. Hey, my phone died. It's raining here in South Florida. It's not the best weather today. So
yeah, but we thank you guys for joining, sticking with us. It was a lot of fun to draft with you.